Would you like to talk more about your professional experiences? Like you have worked in 9 to 5 for majority of your career, if not all of it. So are there any tips you would like to give to up and coming professionals?
Definitely.
What pitfalls to avoid? Essentially how to grow faster, basically, like the mistakes you made. If you could help somebody to not make them, what will those mistakes be? What were those hard lessons you had to learn?
The first one was I had to learn very quickly that Nigeria will always happen to you. So I remember going for an interview with a bank, and during the interview they found out that I was still serving and wanted people who had completed NYC. So they're like, okay, go and finish the next few months of your service, and then you come back and we'll take you. So the whole confidence from that I knocked an interview, successfully while serving and whatnot. And then I come out and I go meet the HR of this bank, and then as usual now, oh, come today, come tomorrow, blah blah blah. After a couple of weeks, I began to realize that nothing was going to come from this. And then I go applying, and I'm still in the euphoria of a bank wanted me, So I started applying to places and being very picky and choosy. It has to be a bank, it has to be a top MDA, it has to be a foreign company and whatnot. And then I noticed I was going into my second year and nothing was coming for work, And so at that point I was like, that is the year I finished NYC. I was going into the next year from NYC, And at that point I was like, see, we have to weigh the pockets now. And the right kind of job I want. Perhaps I should
there has to be a balance.
Step back, and I might start lower, but I would get to where I want to. So don't lose focus. That's what I was saying before, but don't lose focus of the big picture. But be flexible enough to take the detours that need to get you to that big picture. And so I stepped back and I was like, okay, let me just look for any other thing within my area of influence. And so I started off working at a lounge.
Okay.
As a finance and operations manager for them.
That must have been nice.
So I started like at the base of business of pay, but to me it was like I had two things in mind: build my experience, because most jobs were calling for experience wanted. So build my experience and get some money at least to coast by until I get what I want,
So I think we also have some kind of innate pride, arrogance. I don't know if it's an innately human thing or if it's an innately Nigerian thing. I don't know. We tend to look down on certain things, certain positions, certain jobs. Like you hear people going very incredulously, that guy in a graduate and he's driving for Bolt. Like what has that got to do with anything? It's a job. It puts food on your table. It puts money in your pocket. Like you're living a good life. Even if you're a cab driver, it doesn't mean anything. Whatever that job is, if it is meeting your needs at a particular point, I don't like. And we now make it so that graduates only want white-collar jobs. So
it's all coming from the conditioning that we all had
as kids, right? Yeah. So you cannot take a job below a certain pay grade because, in fact, I don't know, that's a whole other topic on its own. So anyway, I've deviated again. Please continue. So be flexible, Abi.
Yes.
Have expectations, but be flexible.
Yeah. And in your flexibility, don't lose sight of your goal.
Okay, your flexibility, don't lose sight of your goal. Yeah. So always have a goal. Yes. That's how you live your life.
Even whilst I was working, a good example, even whilst I was working at the lounge, I totally enjoyed that job. Like it came to me naturally. I love doing logistics, like arranging things for people and all of that. Making sure that, like, event planning and
Okay.
all. I loved all of that. It came naturally to me and all. But I could have got lost in that, right? I knew that my goal was to end up as an accountant. So after doing that for 2 years and then the money was good too, I told myself that if I continue like this, I won't end up where I want to end up,
Wow.
you know. And so I went to, although of course I was still in touch with people from Admedrin, NYC, and all of that. And then I heard that, um, most of my mates now are going for chartered accounting. So I went back and I read the two. Okay, I didn't realize. I always knew that yes, there was ICANN there to do and all, but I always felt like it was people who had at least started work in that line and then gone back to top up or and
Okay.
all. So I didn't think of it from a point of, oh, right from school you
You
can
could have
even become a chartered accountant even before you finish your
your first
your
program.
first degree, and all.
Whoa.
So all of that
Okay.
information came to me at the time, and then I now started asking about what makes me different. Would it be going for the Nigerian one? Because I heard, oh, there's another one that is global, the ACC and all of that. So what do I need for both? What differentiates me? Or which pathway differentiates me? So I had all of that talk, and then I decided, okay, if I am thinking of working in the NGO sector with internationals, I would be best suited to go for an internationally
International
recognized
charter.
certificate,
Okay.
and so that was what because it would give me more credibility or what India is. So that was what made me to now go for the ACC. And then I also heard about the linkages between both, that with one, I needed just to get top of exams in the other, to be able to be part of both of them. And so that was what led me on. So my second take would be, whilst you are being flexible and doing what you need to do to get where you want to get, keep abreast of information on what your main focus and goal is, so that you are also sharpening yourself for the skills needed in that line
in future down the road. Don't wait to train yourself when you get to the hurdle or the milestone.
I used to apply for jobs like Shell and all of that. At the end of the interview, the selection process, even because I never got to write any of their tests, but there's a selection process before they'll get people to write tests. They would respond back and say, "Well, sorry, you're not selected because you do not have the skills, the sufficient skills that we're looking for." Yeah, and then just to add, so I talked about when you get in, right? Then another thing again is attitude.
Key.
Attitude will take you
everywhere
as far as you can humanly imagine. Having
the right attitude, though, is not attitude the way we refer to it in Nigeria.
Having the right attitude to work, having the right attitude to the people you are working with, those who are your mates, those who are beneath you, and then those who are ahead of you.
So what's the right attitude?
For me, I was going to say that it's having humility.
Humility is the right attitude.
Yes, in the workplace. Like, there's a place for defining yourself, and saying, okay, this is my boundaries and this is what I can take and all of that. Yeah. And knowing yourself and what you can take or not take. But it's in the how you communicate it in the office and how you are flexible about that.
Okay.
Right. So of course, when you come in at the junior level and all, everybody's throwing work at you. If you want to come and be stiff-necked about timing, I'm
supposed to punch in here and punch out at that time. These are my assigned roles for today. I can't take on any more work.
Exactly, and all of that. It gives off the feeling of, okay, you are not
willing to put in the work to pay your dues.
You're not someone no one can rely on you to
Okay.
deliver on something, and they would rather just go to the next person who will know that even though it's a push or a stretch for the person, they are doing it. And to me, I take that as I'm paying my dues for the future. Because of course, as I kept climbing up, it became easier and lots easier in quotes, of course, because of course, by the time you move on to your senior level, you're thinking more of strategy and all of that, which is a lot of mental work to and all.
So number one I remember is have expectations, but be flexible. Humility will take you everywhere. There was one in the middle. I can't remember the meat.
You joined it, so have your expectations, be flexible, but keep your eye
on the ultimate goal. Yes.
But
okay. Have a vision board.
Yeah, and then do the skills to get you to that path where you're going to. Not just the skills for what you need at that point where you are.